University. So I want to do a big thank you to your professor as well as to all of the students who have come to join us for this session today. So, guys, of course, it is almost Halloween, and that's what we're going to be talking about today, specifically about the history, the culture of Halloween, as well as some vocabulary words and phrases that you guys can use when discussing it. So, guys, again, we have the reading, and if you have a look at that Google Drive link, you should be able to open that up. I will share my screen as well, so you should be able to see that. Okay, is everyone able to see the screen there? Yeah. If you guys are able to see it, please give me a thumbs up or something just so that I can know that you guys can see it. Can you guys just leave a reaction for me? All right, perfect. Perfect. Okay, guys. So, yeah, so what we're doing here is we're going to be reading this together. I'm going to ask you guys to read some of this out loud. We're going to be talking about it. We're going to be summarizing it and discussing some of our words and phrases. So, guys, I know it's early, but first thing I'm going to do is ask for a volunteer who would be happy to read just that first paragraph for us. Do we have any volunteers? If not, we can choose someone. But would anyone like to start us out just by reading that one out loud? We're going to work on reading and pronunciation, as well as a little bit of summarizing. Any volunteers here? Okay, Juliana, I see that your hand is up. Why don't you start us out then? Let me unmute you. Thank you so much for volunteering. And then, Miguel, you can be next. I appreciate you as well. So, Juliana, why don't you start us out? Could you just read us that first paragraph?
Okay, hello, good morning. It says, the history of Halloween. Halloween is celebrated each year on October 31. The holiday's origins date back over 2,000 years to the ancient Celtic festival of I don't know how to pronounce that,
It's
Samhain.
pronounced, yes, it's pronounced Samhain. It doesn't look like it's spelled. It's pronounced Samhain. It's an old word, not English.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Of
Samhain.
Samhain, a time marking the end of the harvest and the beginning of winter, a season often associated with death. Associated.
Excellent. Yes, great, great. Yeah, very, very well done. The only thing, don't forget that when we're talking about dates, we would say October 31st. We always want to use those numbers like that. 31st. Wonderful. Yes, great. So in your own words, Juliana, how would you summarize that? If you were to tell me this information in your own words briefly, how would you paraphrase that paragraph for me? Oh, yep, you are. There we go. Sorry about that.
Okay, in my own words, I think that it says that this celebration is in October 31st.
Hmm.
And I think that it was a Celtic celebration.
Hmm.
It says that is it marking the end of the marking harvest and
Hmm.
the beginning of the winter, and they celebrate and it is associated with the people, I think.
Yeah, right. It's kind of the time period when they thought, it's the changing of the seasons, all of the crops are dying because it's getting cold. Winter is coming now, so it was, the food was dying, the crops were dying, and they had to be home for the winter. So it was kind of the beginning of a very dark, bleak season. Wonderful. All right. Thank you so much, Juliana. Now, Miguel, I saw that your hand was up as well. Would you read that second paragraph for us? And let's talk about that one as well.
Okay, hi, good morning, everyone.
Good
Um,
morning.
so I'm going to start. Okay, people believe that on this night, the boundary between the living and the dead became blurred to ward off
Blurred.
blurred, blurred
Yeah.
to ward off wandering spirits. The
Hmm.
souls lit bonfires and work continues made of animal skins. In the 8th century, Pope Gregory the Third designated
Hmm.
November 1 as All Saints' Day, a day to honor all saints and martyrs. The night
Martyrs,
before,
martyrs. Yeah,
martyrs. The night
yeah.
before became known as All Hallows Eve,
Hmm.
which later evolved into Halloween.
Hmm.
Many of the old Celtic traditions blended with Christmas beliefs, creating a hybrid celebration that focused more on community and remembrance than fear.
Awesome. Yeah. So, Miguel, how would you summarize that? How would you put that into your own words if you were to tell me this information?
So let me think. Hmm, Halloween, in resume and summarize, today mixes the traditions like fun, fear, and mystery.
Hmm.
It started with Celtic festivals,
Hmm.
when the people believed spirits could visit the living, and they wore costumes to protect themselves. And over time, the celebration became more about entertainment and business, especially with candy and customs.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. Right. So Hallows Eve, the word Hallows Eve, just became Halloween, right? Because speakers get lazy and we start mushing those words together. So officially, the day is Hallows Eve. Of course, everyone just says Halloween, right? And it became a day to remember the dead, right? To remember maybe your loved ones who had died early on, or family, or just even yeah, saints and martyrs, people from the past who you could admire. Yeah, and it became this blend, right? The the celebration, just like the belief about the boundary between the living and the dead, the celebration of the modern beliefs and the ancient beliefs sort of blurred together to create that new festival that we know and love today. Awesome. Thank you so much, Miguel. Guys, do we have a volunteer to read paragraph 3 for us? Juan, is that your hand up? Do I see a hand up there? Is that you? Oh, Raphael, I see Raphael. Let me unmute you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Raphael. Great. Appreciate it. So why don't you read the third paragraph for us then? Can you see that on my screen?
Okay.
I've got that highlighted for you.
Okay. When European immigrants came to America, especially the Irish during the 19th century, they brought Halloween customs with them. Communities began hosting festive gatherings,
Hmm.
sharing ghost stories, and playing games. Over time, Halloween lost most of its religious meaning and became a fun social event for all ages. Today, Halloween is one of the most popular holidays in the United States and beyond.
Brilliant. Thank you, Raphael. So how would you describe that? How would you paraphrase that information for us in your own words then?
Well, say my words say that Halloween became more popular when the Irish went to United States and they brought some of the culture of the celebration. And then United States made the celebration very popular all around the world.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, the way that we celebrate in the US really came from the old Irish customs. The way that they celebrated in Ireland came to America, even things like carving jack-o'-lanterns. Pumpkins did not grow in Europe, but the Irish used to carve turnips and other vegetables instead when they would make their jack-o'-lanterns. Those sort of things changed a lot as they came to America, where they had, pumpkins and squashes and things like that that grew. But that's really where the traditions originated, was from Ireland. So the Irish really loved those old customs and they brought them over with them when they immigrated. Okay, fantastic. Our fourth paragraph, guys, we need one more volunteer for paragraph 4. I've appreciated everyone's involvement here. Do we have another volunteer? One more. Oh, we've got some hands up. Let's see here. Okay, Galena, let's see. I see your hand is up there. Let me unmute you.
Jelena,
There we go.
you should be like Jelena.
Jelena, yes, there we are. I believe your hand was up. Can you unmute?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Perfect. Crystal clear.
Okay. People decorate their homes, dress in creative costume, cars
Mhm.
pumpkin into jack out, lanterns, and goat try or tree.
Yeah.
Though its meaning has changed over the centuries, Halloween remains a celebration that connects the living with history, imagination, and a sense of community.
Fantastic. So, in your words, how would you describe that? What does that phrase, a sense of community, mean? How would you paraphrase that for us?
Uh, I think that people try enjoy this date with many activities. For example, decorate their
Hmm.
homes and dress in creative
Hmm.
um, charters or creative films or charter that people like that, uh,
Hmm.
and also try to enjoy this activity because Halloween is a celebration
Hmm.
that people like dress in many charters for that celebration. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think.
Absolutely. So in my own experience, I'm from the US originally. Growing up, kids love Halloween, of course, because you get to go around and get lots of candy, and like who doesn't love candy? Especially, I've never met a kid that doesn't like candy, right? But on Halloween, we would all dress up in our costumes, and it was definitely a neighborhood celebration. All of the kids would walk around to visit their neighbors' houses. Every neighbor would have a bowl of candy to give to the kids, and the parents got to walk around and meet their friends in the neighborhood. People would talk and play games. And so it really was a very fun community time, a really fun community atmosphere. Even at our school, on Halloween, we were allowed to wear costumes. And so people would dress up and even the teachers would dress up. So we had that really good, just a fun community atmosphere on that day. Great. All right, guys, we have a few discussion questions, and again, anyone you guys can all raise your hand to answer these. We've discussed some of them, but where did Halloween originate from? What ancient festival?
I think Paula just raised her hand like before, so maybe we can give her a chance.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes, please.
Paula, can you unmute yourself for the comprehension question 1? What ancient festival did Halloween originate from? Would you want to share your thought about this question?
Yes. Um, Halloween originate from the ancient Celtic and which marked in the end of the harvest and the beginning of winter.
Yeah. Excellent. Exactly right. Yeah, it was that transitional period. Okay, guys, how did Christianity change the celebration of Samhain? How did it evolve over time, right? We used to have these big bonfires and ancient celebrations, but how did it change with Christianity? How did it become the way it is nowadays? Do we have a volunteer to answer number 2? Comprehension question number two. Anyone can put your hands up. How did it change, guys? How did it change to be the modern Halloween celebration that we know today? Nobody? I can choose somebody. Oh, we've got a hand up. Okay. We've got a volunteer. All right. Juliana, thank you.
Hello. Okay, I think that Christian leaders made November 1st All
Hmm.
Saints Day, and the
Hmm.
night before became All Hallows Eve or Halloween.
Hmm.
Christian ideas mixed with Celtic customs.
Yeah.
So the holiday became more about community and remembering than only fear or things that we don't like. So
Mhm.
I think it was the mix.
Absolutely. Yeah, it became more about trying to remember your loved ones who had died, right? And honoring their memory, rather than a time of being, afraid of ghosts or anything like that. It became more about memorializing our loved ones. Okay, how about number three? Jelena, let me unmute you. There we go. Number three, how did it become popular? Oh, you are, there we go. Yes, unmuted.
You hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can. Perfect.
Number three.
Hmm.
I think Halloween become from popular in the United
Hmm.
States, mainly due to arrival of European immigrants,
Hmm.
particularly the Irish
Hmm.
who fled the Great Famine.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Right,
Yeah,
the great famine. Yeah, great.
yeah, it's just American culture and Halloween
Hmm.
evolves into a community-centric holidays.
Hmm.
And for example, in the 20th century,
Hmm.
Halloween was widely, widely celebrated across the country with festive
Hmm.
gatherings, games, and
Hmm.
parties. Um, like eventually become one of the most popular and commercialized holidays in the United
Yes.
States.
Yeah,
And yeah, I think
absolutely.
that
Yeah.
yeah,
Fantastic. Great answer and great tie-in with that history as well. Yeah, the Irish, they had a very terrible time when they had to flee. Many of them had to flee during the famine. Great. Juan, I see your hand is up as well. How about this one? What are some modern ways people celebrate Halloween? And if you'd like, if you know of any interesting Halloween traditions around the world, even in your own country, but how do people like to celebrate Halloween nowadays? What are the main ways?
Okay, can you hear me?
I sure can.
Okay. Um, well, Halloween has become something really traditional,
Hmm.
especially in every country, but I think more in America because
Hmm.
its roots came from there. So, well, in my country, people go to dance
Mm.
at night, especially
Okay.
adults. and and I think it's like divided into times because
Hmm.
um in the evening children come out to to ask for trick or treating, and
Uh-huh.
later tonight adults come out with their costumes and like and go dancing
Mm.
to discotheques and stuff like that, and that's the way we celebrate it in our country.
Fantastic. Fun. Yeah, fun. It's like something different to do no matter how old you are, right? Something everyone can can do at whatever stage of life they're in. All right, guys, and the final question, definitely just an opinion question. Do you think Halloween has lost its original meaning? Why or why not? It's kind of a deep question. Do we have anyone that's willing to take on that question for us? Do you think Halloween has lost its original meaning? Okay, we've got a hand up. Miguel, what do you think?
Hi. Yes, I think Halloween has
Hmm.
lost much of its original meaning
Hmm.
because it started like as a Celtic festival connected to the
Hmm.
spirits and the afterlife, but now it's more about fun. It is still,
Hmm.
even if the spiritual side is gone, but
Hmm.
it keeps its value as social and creative tradition.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, it's changed definitely. You know, the original reason people wore costumes on that day, they would wear the different costumes to sort of hide from ghosts or hide from spirits that they were afraid of. Of course, now we just wear the costumes mostly just for fun, right? To wear something usually funny nowadays. People like to wear funny costumes or pop culture costumes, you know, their favorite character, something like that. It's definitely not something meant to scare off ghosts so much anymore. Excellent, guys. Great job with that. Really appreciate all of your great answers, everyone. What we're going to do now is we are going to move on to a dictation session. So I have a video about the history of Halloween. It's a very short video. It's about 5 minutes. We're not going to watch the entire thing now. But if you would like to, it's posted on our website on this session page. So after the session, you guys can go back and watch the entire video. But I've chosen some clips from this video that have words and expressions that I find to be very useful in English practice in general. They are going to be different phrases, phrasal verbs, phrases, expressions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play some clips from this video. I will play the clip 3 times. You'll be able to see the subtitles at the bottom. There will be some blanks in the words. So, guys, as I'm playing this, I want you guys to type in the chat box what word or what phrase or what expression you hear. What goes in that blank, okay? All right, guys. So let's do our first practice with our first clip. I'm going to play the clip 3 times. Again, just listen and type in the chat what you hear.
Millions of people around
Okay,
the
let's play
country
that
spill
again.
into streets. Every year, millions of people around the country spill into
Millions of
streets.
people around the country blank. Okay, one more time.
Every year, millions of people around the country
Okay, we're
spill into
looking
streets.
for a phrase that goes here, a phrasal verb. Millions of people around the country blank streets. What did you guys hear? What would go there? What were they talking about? Okay, again, you can just type in the chat box. Let me play it one more time.
Every year, millions of people around the
I
country
know it's a little
spill into
bit fast.
streets.
But what did you hear? Millions of people around the country do what? Looking for 2 words.
Every year, millions of people around the
Let me give
country
you a
spill
hint.
into streets.
We're looking for a word or a phrase that means to crowd a place, to populate, or to swarm. Okay. All right, guys, let me go ahead and give you this one. The phrase that we're looking for here is spill into. Every year, millions of people around the country spill into streets. So a lot of times, right, if we're thinking about the word to spill, we're imagining like a liquid, right? You have a cup of water, you knock it over, it spills. But anything can spill. A crowd can spill, right? A lot of people can spill. So in this context, it means to fill up something. In this case, to fill up the streets. You could spill into anywhere as long as there's a lot of people. right? You could spill into the shopping mall. You could spill into the train station, right? Wherever you're going, if there's a lot of people in a big crowd, you can use the phrase to spill into. All right? It just means that you are filling it up with a lot of people. All right? Just like spilling a glass of water, right? It's spreading everywhere, and the people are spreading everywhere and filling up the area. Okay? Great. So, of course, this is referring to parties, trick-or-treating, right? People leaving their homes to come out and to celebrate Halloween together. Okay. Let's do it with the second clip, guys. We'll do it our next clip as well. Here we go.
Samhain celebrated the dead, and particularly the celebratory feast paid homage to.
What did the celebratory feast do? One more time. Two more times.
Samhain celebrated the dead, and particularly the celebratory feast paid homage to. Samhain celebrated the dead, and particularly the celebratory feast paid homage to.
Okay, yeah, we have a hint there. Paid what? I'll give you guys some context. This is referring to honoring the dead. Okay? To honor, to celebrate, to recognize. Okay, all right, you're very close. It's not almost, but your hearing is very good. It sounds a lot like that. To pay homage is a phrase meaning to honor, to recognize, to celebrate. So in this context, it's talking about honoring the dead, right? Your loved ones who have died. But we can use the phrase to pay homage in a lot of different ways, right? If it's a celebration, like, for example, a birthday party, you're paying homage to the birthday person. If it's a graduation ceremony, you're being paid homage to the people who are graduating. They're being celebrated. It does not only refer to remembering someone who has died. It just generally means that you are celebrating. Okay, you are honoring, you are respecting in some way, right? Many different contexts. What are other ways in which you guys could pay homage to someone, or different contexts? Again, you can write in the chat or you can speak. When would you pay homage to somebody? When could you pay homage? Any volunteers, guys? Okay, a party is when remembering someone. Sure. A retirement party, right? If you're a grandparent or somebody is retiring, maybe, and they have a party for them at their company, yeah, they're paying homage to them. Anytime, yeah, remembering good moments. Yeah, if you're sitting around talking with your friends, oh, remember when this person did that? Oh, that was so funny, that's paying homage to them. Yeah, to pay homage to a professor who inspired us. Great. It can be used in so many different contexts, but it's a great phrase. It sounds really nice. It really has that feeling of a lot of respect, right? Yeah, All Saints Day, right? Paying homage to those who have died. Yes, exactly right. Great, to pay homage. And that H is, of course, silent, right? Good. Okay, yeah, fans paid homage to the famous singer by covering her songs. Yeah. A tribute, right? A tribute band. If a band is covering songs from another musician, that could be considered paying homage as well. Excellent. Okay, guys, we're going to move on to clip number 3.
And was intended to be a day to celebrate the Christian saints and martyrs. And was intended to be a day to celebrate the Christian saints and martyrs. And was intended to be a day to celebrate the Christian saints and martyrs.
Okay, yeah, we had this one in our reading. Yeah, looks like you guys have got that. Yeah, the saints and martyrs. What is a martyr? What does that word mean? What makes somebody a martyr? Ah, okay, Juan. Yes. Yeah, someone who suffers a lot, right? Especially someone who suffers for their belief. It does not only refer to religion. A lot of times, if somebody is killed for their religion, they could be considered a martyr. But you could be a political martyr, right? Like a hero of the country who was killed. Maybe you had a great leader of your country, or who was arrested, or something, right? So it could be political. It could be religious. It could even be somebody at work who is working really hard and they always get the toughest assignments, and they are always suffering the most, but it keeps the company running. They could be a martyr, right? And that would be a more lighthearted way to use it, but you can use it that way. It's in this context, it's talking about religious beliefs because it's referring to the religious holiday, All Saints Day. But you can use the word martyr for many different contexts. If somebody is suffering in some way, right? They're suffering in some way. You can use the word martyr, especially if their suffering is for some good cause or some noble cause. Right. Good. We even have the phrase a martyr to success. A martyr to success. What do you think that means? If somebody is a martyr to success, what would that mean? Any ideas? And you guys can raise your hand as well, if you'd like to speak out. But if someone's a martyr to success, any ideas? So a martyr to success is somebody who achieves what they wanted to, but it maybe has some downsides, right? Okay. Okay. It could be that. A lot of times we use the phrase "a martyr to success" to imagine a celebrity, a movie star, right? They became famous, they became rich, but now they can never go out to dinner because people are always taking photos of them, and they have no privacy. Okay? They achieved success, but now they're suffering for it. Okay? They're a martyr to success. It's when you've achieved what you wanted, but it had some downside, and you're suffering, and you didn't anticipate that. Okay, to suffer for your ambition, yeah, yeah, that's a great way to phrase it, right? You were successful, but you are suffering in the end, right? It's like everything has a good side and a bad side. Great. Let's move on to our fourth clip here. Yes, it could have a positive context too. It's just a way of remembering, right? Like everything is a double-edged sword, right? Or everything has a silver lining. It's a way to think of it in that way, right? It was good and it was bad, and you have to sort of balance that out. Yes. All right, moving right along. Clip 4.
The mid-19th century saw a large influx of immigrants entering. The mid-19th century saw a large influx of immigrants entering. The mid-19th century saw a large influx of immigrants entering.
The mid-19th century saw a large blank. All right. That's exactly right. Influx. What is an influx? What does that word mean? An influx. In this context, it's referring to people, right? A large number of people, but in general, what does the word influx mean? Or how else could it be used? What could you have an influx of? Okay. Yeah, it's a large number of something. Okay. Not specifically people. Okay. In this context, it is referring to people, a large influx of immigrants. specifically to to the United States, like we talked about earlier, especially the Irish immigrants. But it doesn't only refer to people. You could have an influx of lots of different things. If it's near exam times, you could have an influx of homework, right? If it's near the end of the quarter at work, you could have an influx of tasks to do. A large arrival, yes, a flow of people, things, an influx of emotions. That's a really, really good one. The movie brought everyone to tears, right? They had a great influx of emotions, a great influx of sadness. Okay. It can be used like that too. So it's just a lot of something arriving in a place. Okay. Very good. A large influx of immigrants. And here we can see some of these traditional games like bobbing for apples, right? Where you have the apples in the water and you try to pull them out with your teeth. Not easy. But that was a very popular Halloween game that people used to play, especially in the past. Great. All right, guys, moving on to our next scene.
Adults would soon find incentive to dissuade children from.
Okay. The context of this one is that trick-or-treating used to be about, going around asking for candy, a treat, and if you did not get candy, you would play a trick. Okay, so this is about adults not liking the trick part.
Adults would soon find incentive to dissuade children from. Adults would soon find incentive to dissuade children from.
All right, yeah, excellent. To dissuade, very, very good. So what does dissuade mean? What does dissuade mean? And if we think about our root words, what would the opposite of dissuade be? Right, so adults did not like the tricks, so they tried to find ways to dissuade children from playing tricks, right? To encourage them to just go for candy instead. Okay. Yes, specifically to encourage someone not to do something. That's exactly right. If somebody is doing something, you don't like it, you want them to stop, you are convincing them, preventing them from doing it. Yes, convincing them not to. So thinking about our root words, if we break this word apart, what would be the opposite of dissuade? Okay, yes, Raphael, you got it. Yes, the opposite of persuade, right? To persuade someone, you are encouraging someone to do something. And to dissuade someone, you are encouraging them not to. You are trying to put an end to it, right? As you can imagine, having a bunch of kids running around playing pranks on people was not very fun for the adults. And so they tried to lean into more of the fun side of it, the candy, the trick-or-treating, the parties, all of that, right? And they tried to encourage that side of it instead to prevent the bad stuff. Of course, it still happens. In the United States, the night before Halloween is sometimes called Mischief Night. It's usually where teenagers will go around playing pranks on their neighbors, and it can be very annoying. And depending on where you live, it was not very popular in my part of the country where I grew up, but I had friends from other parts of the country, different states, and they apparently really loved Mischief Night. And that would be on October 30th, the night before Halloween. So the tricks are still very much part of Halloween in some parts of the country, but not nearly as much as it used to be. All right, guys. So coming back to our main room, we've been talking a lot about Halloween customs and the history of Halloween, as well as some of the ways that they are celebrated across the country, guys. What I'd like to do now is to move into a conversation. Jonah, do we have those discussion topics? We'd like to go ahead and share with you guys. Here we go. Okay, we've got some discussion questions. If everyone, are you guys all able to see that in the chat? Okay. Very good, guys. And what we're going to do now is we are going to break into small groups for the remaining portion of the session, and we're going to discuss them. So, guys, I would like you all in your small groups to take turns choosing and asking questions from the list provided to one another. So basically, one person can ask a question. They can pick somebody in the group to ask it to. After they've talked about it a little bit, that person can choose the next question and pick the next person to ask it to, and so on. So, guys, I'd like you all to think about what we've talked about today. Think about some of these phrases, these expressions, and some of the Halloween culture that we've learned about. And let's use that in our small groups, guys. So, we're going to go ahead and create breakout rooms for everyone. Here we go. Have a great conversation, everyone, and I'll see you back here in about 15 minutes after we've had a little conversation as we get ready to wrap up together. All right, everyone. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the main room. Hope you had a great time today. Um, yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed our Langclub session. As Jonah has shared here in the chat, if you guys want to use that dictation practice that we did today and practice it on your own, you can check that out via the link here. We actually have an entire library of these dictation activities that I've written some words and expressions for, as well as synonyms, antonyms, ways to use them. And so you guys are very welcome to go to our website and check all of those activities out, including the one that we did today. And I also do hope that you guys will come back and join us again for more sessions in the future because I really enjoyed talking to you all. I enjoyed our small group conversation that I was in. And I really appreciate you guys for your great participation, even though I do know, like I said, I know it's very early for you guys where you are. So thank you for all being alert and for joining in and for making this a really fun, successful time. Guys, before you leave here today, we would just like to give a little bit of feedback from you guys. Here's a poll. The answers are anonymous, so don't worry. You can be as honest as possible, guys. But we do want to hear some feedback from you, so we would really appreciate that. Yeah, guys, as a reminder, we have Langclub sessions. Today was mostly focused on the reading and dictation, but we have our speaking sessions multiple times every day where you can have the chance to join the conversations, to practice talking to people from all around the world with a wide variety of topics that we've provided, just like we did in the last 15 minutes. So you guys are very welcome to join us there. We have another session starting very soon. You can see the link here. So if you have time, come join us if you want to keep talking and continue the conversation. We would love to see you there. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. I don't know, Jonah, do you have anything you'd like to say at the end just to wrap us up?
No, it's okay. Just again,
Okay.
wrapping up.
All right, guys. Yeah, thank you all so much, everyone, and happy Halloween to you. Thank you so much for joining Langclub today. All right, guys. Hope to see you again next time.
Hello, Miss Luz, are you there? Maybe we can just finish. I think she's not available.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it went really well. It went really well.
Good.
Now
Good. Good. Good.
sharing
Yeah,
some.
I feel good about it.
Yeah. Great, Michael.
Great.
Have a good night. Talk to you later.
Yes, you too.
Bye-bye.
You too. All right. See ya.